the deep red state of Tennessee and rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day, happy Trump day. It's going to be a big day today. Tulsi Gabbard has released new documents directly implicating Barack Hussein Obama in the Spygate, Obamagate, Russiagate, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing. Scandal. And again, to rehash yesterday, because I've already gotten criticism from some folks on X, it doesn't matter what I think about how we talk about, about the actions highlighted in these new documents regarding Obamagate and all this. It doesn't matter what I think in terms of what's the problem?
Jeremy said your audio is all messed up. So.
It was low earlier. I just fixed it.
Okay.
Yeah. It was definitely low. Something happened. For some reason, my computer overrides the microphone sometimes and diminishes the audio levels significantly. I have to go in and fix it. Usually after Tuesday nights when I spend a lot of time on Spaces, I don't remember to do it. I just saw it. It was about half of what it should have been, and I just fixed it. Normally, what we've seen... What was I saying? Where was I? Obama.
It doesn't matter what you say.
Right. It doesn't matter what I think when I say that legally what is highlighted in these documents, it doesn't amount to treason. It doesn't matter. So people are going, so you think it's not treason? It doesn't matter what I think. Well, it matters what the law states. And I'm not going to go through the whole treason thing. We did this yesterday, and I believe we made it make a lot of sense. Socially, politically, when we're speaking, if we call it treason, that's different than it being convicted in a court of law. Again, 18 U.S. Code Section 2381. I'm just going to encourage everybody to read it because we read it yesterday. It specifies that in order for treason, the threshold for treason to have been met, there must be a war. And the enemy that is aided by the treason or the treasonous acts or the acts that we deem to be treasonous acts must be an enemy that is actively at open war with the United States. Now, some people pointed out, in 2016, we were at war, so to speak, with Afghanistan. It wasn't a declared war, and Afghanistan was not materially aided by the treasonous acts. I'm telling you right now, and I know that Donald Trump keeps saying treasonous, and I know that a lot of people, when it comes to how they speak, get their marching orders from Donald Trump, and it's fine, whatever. It is what it is. The acts that have been outlined in these documents do not amount to the legal threshold for treason. If we want to make the treason statute say something differently, we have to amend it through the whole process. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying I don't think it's treasonous the way we understand what the word means. I'm saying in a court of law, this isn't treason. In a court of law, not in Sean's opinion, not in so-and-so's opinion. In a court of law, this does not amount to treason. That's all I'm saying. That's why you have different statutes below treason that describe exactly what Barack Obama and his co-conspirators did with Obamagate, Spygate, the Russia hoax, etc. The best case scenario is the felony statute, 18 U.S. Code Section 371, conspiracy to defraud the United States. The only question that exists in Obama's case is presidential immunity, and can what he did, in other words, ordering the publication of the shoddy intelligence that didn't meet standards from the CIA, traditionally, does that fall under official acts or not? Was he intentionally and explicitly, because you have to prove intent here, was he explicitly, intentionally, can intent be proven, directing people to break the law and breaking the law himself. Because presidential immunity doesn't give the president, absolute power to just break laws. This is going to be the debate when it comes to Obama. The good news is Clapper, John Brennan, James Comey, Loretta Lynch, John Kerry, Joe Biden. These people are not covered under presidential immunity. So the debate is what he did considered an official act, and is it explicitly illegal, intentionally illegal? Again, we can have our opinions on the matter, but can we prove it by the way, in front of a DC jury? So it's got to be explicit and without any conjecture or speculation. There are new documents that are out. We're going to go over those. And then we're going to move right into some other stuff that happened, including we're finally going to get to what's going on with CBS. Okay? What Donald Trump announced with CBS yesterday, this settlement, which is just hilarious. It's great. Liberals happen to be a good question by Mustache 49. Guys, I'm gonna address this. This is a good comment. What about colluding with Iran, bringing thousands to a few millions of soldiers to overthrow America? The border, I get it. It has to be proven. Not look at this video and these, in order to prove something in a court of law. I'm not saying this didn't happen. I'm saying, and I'm asking, does the explicit evidence, you're going to have a jury in D.C. that is composed of, or that is being, the jury pool is being filled by people who live in a jurisdiction that voted 95+% for Kamala Harris, okay? So you're going to have to convince that jury to convict Barack Obama. Just think about what we're asking here, right? Think about how hard this job is for us. If we believe that Obama colluded with Iran to bring in millions of soldiers to overthrow the country, there has to be explicit, zero conjecture, zero speculation proof. And the proof can't be, look at the border. There's got to be hard, tangible, I have to be able to touch it evidence. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying I don't think it happened. I'm saying, can we prove it happened? And these are two different things. And it's very important to understand, because in a court of law, it's a lot different than, and this is, I've explained this with Bongino and, to a case, with the FBI, where are the arrests? You don't just want arrests. I don't just want Obama to walk around in handcuffs. I want him to go to jail because he got convicted of a felony. And I don't want to sit there and just throw what at the wall like they did with Donald Trump, only for none of it to stick and the person that we're targeting to come out even stronger. You see? And so I don't mean to diminish the comment. I just mean to say, in this case, I believe that something along those lines happened. We all believe that it happened. But do you have the explicit proof that a DC jury will look at and go, holy crap, Barack Obama is guilty of sedition or conspiracy or treason or something of that matter? Maybe we do have the proof. If we do, then you charge him and you try the case. If we don't, then you can't charge him and you can't try the case. Because it's not going to stick. And at that point, it will be a politically motivated witch hunt. You're going to be trying to convince a jury, that of something that you don't have concrete evidence of it happening. And that's all I'm saying. That's why I'm not saying this is not a big deal. You know how I feel about Spygate. I've done this a billion times. What I'm saying is realistic expectations. And if you believe that something happened, like I do, right? Do we have the irrefutable proof that will convince the most biased of juries to convict a guy like Barack Obama? That's what we need. That's why I say realistic expectations matter. And that's why clamoring just for a perp walk or handcuffs or arrests that doesn't solve our problems. That gives you the instant gratification of, ha ha, look, his life is miserable. But remember what they did to Trump, and remember how the left treated that? The left ragged on him. They put memes. They put him in the jumpsuit, right? The whole thing, the mugshot. They said he's going to jail. And what happened? He beat everything except the New York City case, which is going to get overturned on appeal. And it only helped him because everybody saw through it. It was transparently politically motivated. I don't want this to be politically motivated. I want this to be legally motivating, right? Legally motivated. Somebody broke the law. The rooster comes out because nobody's above the law. And that's why we're going after them. Not because we don't like them, because they broke the law. It's so important to remain grounded on that principle if we're going to get excited about these cases like I am. It is important to stay grounded and understand and realistically, have realistic expectations here. That's all I'm saying. Because what I don't want to see is everyone hype each other up into another letdown. Again, the left did this a billion times. How many times do we hear the walls are closing in on Donald Trump? The walls, right? Only for the walls never to close in. And they were all upset. I don't want us to be like that. Realistic expectations. There's going to be a lot of conversation that takes place regarding the charges, who can be charged, what are they going to be charged with? And I'm telling you right now, unless something otherworldly comes out, legally forget about treason. Legally forget about treason. There are other charges that apply. I believe, after researching the charges, reading the statutes, conspiracy to defraud the United States, which is 18 U.S.C. Section 371. Okay. Let's get to a word from our friend, and then we'll get into the new Obamagate documents that came out, the new Spygate documents that came out, because Tulsi Gabbard, unlike that sorry excuse of an attorney general, delivered instead of giving us hype and bluster and engagement farming over it. Before we do all of that, I want to talk to you about our friends over at OFP Farms. It's OFPFarms.com, promo code Sean, OFPFarms.com, promo code SHAWN for 15% off on the website, OFPFarms.com, promo code Sean, SHAWN. Ladies and gentlemen, explore the wonderful quality of Faith Farm and Freedom products with a special limited time 15% discount on your entire purchase. Take a peek at the lineup from OFP Farms, America's go-to soap company, famous for natural ingredients, the skin-loving perks of tallow and goat milk, and a big heart for farm-to-family skincare. Whether you're looking for gentle skincare or thoughtful gifts, these products bring together expert care and good values to make your daily routine better. Don't miss this chance to enjoy premium products that support your health and ethical choices for the entire family. Go to OFP Farms, the small family farm with big love, and use your code Sean, SHAWN, for 15% off of stuff like the Goat Kisses Lip Balm. We just met about a week ago. Matt Brown and his wonderful wife, Rose, who apparently is a huge fan of the rooster.
She whipped out her
and I started because my lips are dry, because I'm a lip licker, right? So I was like, here we go, Goat Kisses. She was like, Goat Kisses? We almost had a duel at the table. We were like, shing, Goat Kisses Lip Balm. What flavor do you have? And I forgot which one she was using, but I have the
orange
southern.
Something.
It was the orange, right?
Yeah.
I have the southern sweet tea. This stuff is so, oh man, it's just the best.
Cherry berries.
It's a lot better than crapstick. Brennan loves the cherry berry. I used to be a eucalyptus diehard. OFPFarms.com. Get into duels today with your friends with the Goat Kisses Lip Balm. OFPFarms.com. Promo code Sean for 15% off. OFPFarms.com. Promo code Sean. Bad mood said. You can't say things like that. Oh, my goodness. Okay. OFPFarms.com. Promo code Bad Moon over on Rumble. If you're not watching on Rumble, you're missing the best chat. Now, X has a good chat these days. It's growing over there, which is cool. But Bad Moon just said...
You can dress him up, but you can't take him out.
What is it? Terry Seuss says, I wake up to that rooster every morning. For those of you, the inside joke... We use that because when the Democrat, nobody's above the law. One day we decided that they sounded like roosters. So, I made a little rooster element that does that. All right. As Papa OFP Farms in the chat says, we love this ungoverned family. Before we move into these new documents, I do also want to talk to you about another sponsor of our show, good friends over at Silent, SLNT.com/Sean, SHAWN. Silent. Go silent today. Between the government, big tech, corporate America, and criminals, your privacy is compromised 24/7. There's no other option. You've got to protect yourself, and that starts with Silent. Listen, scammers are the hardest working people in the world. There was a bogus X account that was using my likeness to sell people cryptocurrencies. Okay.
Yikes.
And I got it taken down, got both of them taken down, but they work very hard. And that's where Silent comes in to protect you. Silent's Faraday products block all incoming and outgoing signals so that your devices are invisible and safe from the outside world, from their backpacks, phone sleeves, and even pants. Their patented signal blocking technology blocks wireless signals, giving you peace of mind that your data does not end up in the wrong hands. Just put your device inside one of their products, close it up, and that's all you've got to do. You are then safeguarded from unauthorized access. Go silent today at slnt.com/Sean. Their products will stop all signals in and out. It blocks radiation, some of that harmful radiation. People don't like the Bluetooth, the 5G. It stops all that. Some folks will slip it in a bag or something like that when they sleep so they don't wind up getting, issues with their sleep with all the 5G and the Bluetooth, all the radiation coming off their devices. Also prevents you from being tracked and hacked. This stuff is great. Go silent today, slnt.com/Sean for 15% off and free shipping on qualifying orders. That is silent, slnt.com/Sean for 15% off and free shipping on qualifying orders. Okay. Tulsi Gabbard. I call her now. What do I call her? I call her Top Rope Tulsi because she's off the top rope all the time. She climbs up to the top rope. She loads up the people's elbow and boom, drops it on the deep state. Okay? She drops it on the top rope Tulsi. I also call her Hula Hula because she comes from Hawaii, right? And by the way, did you hear what NASA said recently? These people are definitely trolling with the headline like this.
What'd they say?
Uranus is
Stop. That's all.
Uranus is warmer than previously expected. I said, sounds like you're about to get food poisoning because, if Uranus is
climate change is affecting Uranus.
Climate change is affecting Uranus. Too many emissions. Okay. Uranus is warm. No. I call her Hula Hula. You look at Tulsi Gabbard, tremendous. Tulsi Gabbard did what Pam Bondi should have done. Okay. What happened? Tulsi, a couple of days ago, just released documents. Boom. Here you go. Obamagate. Then she went on the mainstream media and the news and all over the place and did her interviews. Then Obama responded to her. And then she said, I've got more documents that I'm releasing that implicate Obama. And then she did it. Okay. Versus Pam Bondi, who came out and said, oh, the files are on my desk and it's the biggest thing in the world and we're going to release everything. Pound in her chest, bluster, engagement farming. The things that this guy did was sick and everybody's going to see it and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, Sunday, July 6th, she goes, never mind. Gotcha. Made you look, Psych. Right? Psych. That's not what Tulsi Gabbard did. Barack Obama replied to all of the new documents that came out and said it was a weak attempt at a distraction. By the way, there is one thing that I do not like. If there's one thing I do not like, it is this idea of everything as a distraction. You know what? And I'll tell you what this means real quick when I hear it. Okay, when people start saying, this story is a distraction or that story is a distraction. So usually what this means is whoever is calling a story a distraction isn't saying so in many cases because they actually think it's a distraction. It's because the issue that they care most about isn't being talked about and they want to manipulate you into paying attention. That's what I think is happening when people say it's a distraction. Or they want to actually distract from what's being talked about now. I think that's what Barack Obama's doing. Barack Obama says that that this is a distraction, and his exact statement reads as follows. Quote, out of respect for the office of the presidency, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House with a response, but these claims are outrageous enough to merit one. These bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at a distraction. Nothing in the document issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 presidential election but did not successfully manipulate any votes. These findings were affirmed in a 2020 report by the bipartisan Senate Intelligence Committee led by then-Chairman Marco Rubio. You see how Obama is trying to divide the Trump administration and the Trump cabinet, right? By bringing up Marco Rubio. Tulsi Gabbard saw that statement and said, oh, okay, you want to play this game? I've got more. This is what she said on Newsmax. Watch this.
We will be releasing further documents tomorrow that will refute that statement. And I would go back and point to, and we will be pulling a whole host of statements that were made by the Obama administration, by Hillary Clinton, by senior Democrat officials, by their friends in the media that state over and over again after this January 2017 manufactured intelligence document was created that repeat the narrative. And I'm looking at my notes here. New York Times says Russian hackers acted to aid Trump in the election. Obama's CIA Director John Brennan says there is strong consensus among us to support the CIA claim Russian hackers aided Donald Trump's election. Hillary Clinton said, I would be president if not for the Russian hackers supporting Donald Trump. So there is a vast body of evidence and intelligence that debunks and refutes this statement you've just.
So there it is. Tulsi Gabbard mentioning that she has new documents, and she does have new documents. She released a couple of documents this morning, including this one right here. And I'll make that a little bit larger on your screen as we go through it. And this one right here. Matter of fact, why don't we pull those documents up full screen so we can give you something that you could screenshot and go ahead and read along with as we look at those documents. So here we go. This is the first of a few, and this is one of those that broke this morning, courtesy of Nick Sorter on X, is where I got this document from. As you can see here, it mentions a bunch of things, but it also, among that, mentions that the ICA, Intelligence Community Assessment, failed to acknowledge that key judgments on Putin's intentions were based on raw intelligence that did not meet tradecraft standards. What does that mean? Okay, it means that it did not meet the standards that normally would have to be met to be published and taken seriously. Quote, properly, ICD 203 instructs that intelligence tradecraft, this is the standards, properly describes quality and credibility of underlying sources to include factors affecting the reliability of their information, such as source access, motivation, and possible bias. You know, like maybe, maybe the fact that Christopher Steele was absolutely biased because he was paid to find opposition research. None of the intelligence assessments specified this. Didn't specify it. Quote, it's also accurate citation of raw intelligence reporting is critical to explaining to the reader the reliability of the evidence used to drive judgments, yet the intelligence community assessment disregarded these fundamentals in sections that claimed Putin intended for Trump to win. So it said Putin intended for Trump to win. Who was your source? Don't worry about it. What was their motivations? We don't know. You can't take that seriously then. Key classified reports cited by the intelligence community assessment in support of judgments that Putin developed a, quote, clear preference for candidate Trump and, quote, aspired to help his chance of victory contained flaws in terms of clarity and reliability. This is an official document that Tulsi Gabbard released saying that the intelligence that alleged Russian collusion contained flaws in terms of clarity or reliability, did not meet the standard. The intelligence community assessment omitted or obscured such information from context statements that the CIA's Directorate of Operations had properly added to raw human source intelligence reports, thus failing to warn the reader of significant flaws in the quality or credibility of foundational sources. This document continues on. It's on your screen in small on the top, left corner there. Director of the CIA ordered a publication of 3 reports which failed to meet CIA. Oh, I can't read that. It's failed to meet CIA criteria for reliability or clarity that subsequently became key intelligence community citations on Putin's intentions in response to direction from the president. In response to direction from the president. Who is the president? Barack Obama. To make all information available, CIA officers said the director of the CIA ordered the publication in early December 2016 of 15 new or revised CIA human intelligence reports containing information on Russian activities collected prior to the election that CIA professionals had decided not to publish for various reasons having to do with tradecraft standards. They didn't want to publish it because it was conjecture, because it couldn't be proven, because it was speculation, because a lot of it was based off of a dossier that was bought and paid for and was politically motivated. Most of the 15 were unremarkable, but 3 contained flawed information, and these 3 became foundational sources the intelligence community assessment cited to claim Putin's aspired to help Trump win. The flawed information became the foundational sources that the intelligence community used to say Trump colluded with Russia. Do you understand what I'm saying? There was notably flawed information that the CIA did not want to publish because they knew it was flawed. That the intelligence community said, it's flawed, but it doesn't matter because we like what it says. Putin tried to help Trump. Senior CIA officers said some of the information in these reports had been judged to have not met various long-standing intelligence community standards for publication, and that is why they had not been published when first acquired. 2 sensitive reports were not published on the director of CIA's orders. The 3 reports were published after the election on the director of CIA's orders, despite veteran CIA officer judgments that they contained substandard information that was unclear, of uncertain origin, potentially biased, implausible, or in the words of senior operations officers, odd. This story, by the way, continues as we go to the second document. Okay? But do you hear the conflict that was happening within the CIA here? They knew the information was crap. The crap information was used to form the intelligence community assessment that Russia tried to hack the election and help Donald Trump. And then they tried to attach a motive that Trump was willingly accepting that help off of information of the CIA, and senior officers said, we shouldn't publish this. We can't confirm it. Document number 2. And this is just 2 of many documents that were released today. Okay? And this has got the biggest, probably most damning information. 9th of December, Director CIA Brennan orders publication of substandard reporting on Russian activities during the election. Acting on President Obama's orders, stop, time out, what? So you mean to tell me that you have substandard information, does not meet tradecraft standards, would not be considered serious, but because it said crazy things about Donald Trump and Russia, and they could use that to push a narrative, President Obama ordered it to be published. Acting on President Obama's orders, the director of the CIA, Brennan, directed a full review and publication of raw human intelligence information that had been collected before the election. CIA officers said that some of this information had been held on the orders of the director of CIA, while other reporting had been judged by experienced CIA officers to have not met longstanding publication standards. Do you think if this was about anybody other than Donald Trump that this would have been published? No. Some of the latter was unclear or from unknown subsources, but would nonetheless be published after the election over the objections of veteran officers on orders of the director of the CIA, who got his orders from who? Barack Obama, and cited in the intelligence community assessment to support claims that Putin aspired to help Trump win. January 5th, January 6th, 2017, the intelligence community assessment is officially launched. On the 5th of January, most sensitive classified version of the intelligence community assessment was briefed to President Obama and shared with about 250 administration officials and policymakers. On January 6, 2017, the intelligence community assessment was briefed to President-elect Trump, and the unclassified version was posted on the DNI website. The unclassified intelligence community assessment key judgment were identical to the classified versions. Quote, Putin and the Russian government developed a clear preference for Trump and, quote, aspired to help Trump's election chances when possible by discrediting Secretary Clinton. The problem is what? As we read a bunch of times in that document, everything that supported the claim that Putin was trying to help Trump win was all information that long-standing publication standards would have said not to publish. But what did they do? They published it anyway. At whose decision? At whose orders? Obama. He's implicated whether people like it or not. Now, whether you read that and you say, okay, but those are the official duties of the president and he was taking it seriously, that's for legal analysts to go in there and say, is it covered by immunity? Is it not covered by immunity? Did he break the law? Did he not break the law? It sounds like he broke standards in those documents, didn't break the law. Therefore, immunity may apply to what he did there. Now, if he directed people to lie to the FISA court, I don't think you're immune to that. Because you're literally telling people to break the law. I don't believe immunity applies. But is there explicit proof of that? Maybe there is. What we know is that Obama told the CIA to publish information that the CIA never would have published because it did not meet the standards for publication. And the only reason they published it is why? Well, they needed the insurance policy, right? According to Peter Strzok, right? They needed to throw that dark cloud over the Trump administration. They needed on their way out to tie that ball and chain to the leg of the Donald Trump administration, the first term of Donald Trump's what would be a two-term presidency. They didn't know it at that point. They needed to attach that ball and chain to the Trump administration. And they did it, even though it didn't meet the standards for publication. Obama's implicated whether people want to admit it or not. He's implicated. Even, Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. Oh, Peter, I love you. Lisa, I love you too. You're beautiful. And you're beautiful too. Lisa Page, POTUS wants to know everything we're doing. Obama knew everything. Obama knew everything. Okay. That's it on the Spygate front this morning. We spent a lot of time on it. I do want to get to some other stuff, some really, other fun stuff and good stuff. We do have to still rag on Stephen Colbert because we haven't done that yet. Before we do that, I want to talk to you about Patriot Mobile. That is patriotmobile.com/FARASH, patriotmobile.com/Farish. Folks, I know there's many different choices that you have when it comes to who you choose for your cell phone service. And there are new ones popping up all the time, all the live long day, right? But here's the truth. There's only one that boldly stands in the gap for every American that believes that freedom is worth fighting for, and that is Patriot Mobile. For more than 12 years, Patriot Mobile has been on the front lines fighting for our God-given rights and freedoms, while also providing exceptional nationwide cell phone service with access to all three of the major networks. Don't just take my word for it. Ask the hundreds of thousands of Americans who've made the switch and are now supporting causes that they believe in simply by joining Patriot Mobile. Switching is easier than ever. Activate in minutes from the comfort of your own home. Keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Patriot Mobile's all U.S.-based support team, that's a big plus, right? How nice is it to know that everybody on the support team is in the United States? I think that's fun. Their all U.S.-based support team is standing by to take care of you. Call 972-PATRIOT today or go to patriotmobile.com/Farish, F-A-R-A-S-H. Use the promo code Farish, F-A-R-A-S-H, for a free month of service. That is patriotmobile.com/Farish, F-A-R-A-S-H, or call 972-PATRIOT and make the switch today. That's patriotmobile.com/Farish or 972-PATRIOT. Promo code Farish to make the switch today. All right, we're going to dive into this CBS story in a second because what's happening over there is hilarious. The Colbert thing, we haven't talked about it all week. Spygate has dominated this show for the last couple of days, as it should, in my opinion. It is the most important and probably the biggest political spying scandal in the history of American politics. It does make Watergate look puny in comparison. And again, I want to show you the distinction between how Tulsi Gabbard handled this and how Attorney General Pam Bondi handled the Epstein files. Okay? Attorney General Pam Bondi came out and made these bold extraordinary claims. The files are on my desk and it's in there for review, and there's sick things that are happening and thousands of files and thousands of victims and this and that and all these massive claims, and here comes the information. And then we get the three-ring binder, three-ring circus, and then she goes back on the news and no, more is coming and we got it. The FBI was holding it back and now we're getting it, and I gave them a deadline and they delivered the information, and then we go months, and then on July 6th at night, a leaked unsigned memo finds its way to Axios of all places. Out comes the memo, and that's it. Now we're told there are no more files. Pam Bondi overpromised and underdelivered. Period. End of story. Tulsi Gabbard had made no mention of Spygate, made no promises about Spygate, delivered the first trove of documents, got a reaction from Barack Obama, then did her interviews about the documents, okay, and said, I've got more. And then the very next day released more. Attorney General Pam Bondi should take notes. That's how you handle business. Gabbard did not have to engagement farm her way onto TV. She actually produced results, and then TV came calling. That's how you handle business. All right, we're going to get to CBS in a second because really cool news broke about the Kamala Harris edit heard around the world. But before we do that, I've got a message from somebody you may know. Many of you are going to be seeing him this weekend. Jeremy Harrell on behalf of PureHealthResearch.com.
Hey guys, what's going on? I got an incredible offer here for you from Pure Health Research. This is going to blow your mind. Look, I know so many people out there, especially as we get older, we want to drop a few pounds. We lose a little energy. We lose a little testosterone. We lose a little, estrogen. We just lose as we get older. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to gain, and this message is just for you. Pure Health Research is on a mission to what? Make America healthy again. They are aligned with Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s mission, and I'm aligned with that. Their two best-selling health supplements right now that are leading the way is the liver health formula. Over 100 million Americans are sluggish because of a liver that is riddled with fatty deposits. This can kill your metabolism, pile on pounds, make you feel tired. All that liver health formula will take care of that. It supports your liver health with special nutrients like artichoke extract and milk thistle. This is one of the easiest ways to slim down. Next is the lymph system support. If you struggle with fluid buildup or swelling in your legs, ankles, been there, done that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this one's going to be for you. The natural ingredient in the lymph system formula helps gently flush extra fluids and toxins out of the body. Right now, you can get a limited time offer, 35% off right now. 35% off by going to purehealthresearch.com and using promo code LFA. That's Pure Health Research right now. Use promo code LFA and you'll get 35% off targeted products. I need something for this. I need something for that. They got it. And I want you to check out their reviews online. They are through the roof. purehealthresearch.com. Promo code LFA.
That's purehealthresearch.com, promo code LFA. Thank you very much, Jeremy, for that message, and Pure Health Research for being a part of the show. Donald Trump announced pretty big news yesterday regarding the CBS lawsuit, which centered around Kamala Harris's edit heard around the world. Just a quick refresher. This is what CBS and 60 Minutes tried to do with Kamala Harris's word salad response. So forks out, right? Forks out, shing, right? Ho, ho, ho. We'll fight in the shade. Here's Kamala Harris is the edit heard around the world on 60 Minutes.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
That's from Mazemore on X, Mazemoore. Mazemore put that together, and that was picked up, and that's the reason why Donald Trump sued that beautifully produced video there from Mazemore on X of that edit. Donald Trump then decided they were going to sue CBS for the deceptive edit, which was absolutely deceptive. There's no two ways about it. It was a deceptive edit, and Donald Trump announces that CBS will have to pay $36 million. And, Stephen Colbert, people are saying, is this the reason why Stephen Colbert was fired? I don't know. But here's what Donald Trump said. We have just achieved a big and important win in our historic lawsuit against 60 Minutes, CBS, and their parent company, Paramount. Just like ABC and George Slopadopoulos, CBS and its corporate owners knew that they defrauded the American people and were desperate to settle. Settle! Settle, 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 settle! Paramount, CBS, 60 Minutes have today paid $16 million in settlement, and we also anticipate receiving $20 million from the new owners in advertising, public service announcements, or similar programming for a total of over $36 million. This is another in a long line of victories over the fake news media, who we are holding to account for their widespread fraud and deceit. The Wall Street Journal, the failing New York Times, the Washington Post, MSDNC, CNN, and all other mainstream media liars are on notice that the days of them being allowed to deceive the American people are over. Make America great again. Now, the big news in that statement from Donald Trump isn't necessarily that CBS and Paramount are giving him $16 million to basically say, I'm sorry for the deceptive edit of the Kamala Harris interview, which we just played, courtesy of, again, the great Mazemore, but that he's also getting $20 million in free advertising, public service announcements, or similar programming on the network as well. I want you to think about that in terms of the midterms, right? Because you look at Donald Trump and advertising, you see a lot of these ads for Trump and conservatives and Republicans on Fox News, on Newsmax. That's where a lot of the voters are. But independents, right, the swayables, might still be watching places like CBS. And now it looks like Trump is going to be able to get, and possibly Republicans as well, right ahead of the midterms, $20 million in complimentary ad space for those independents. That's big, right? To reach those people that wouldn't normally be watching Fox. And I think that's big. And I think that's one of the, the things that's being, slept on and left behind here. Now, the left is very upset with what happened with Stephen Colbert, which is, to me, hilarious. Okay, I don't understand. First of all, watch this video. This is them. They're because they'll protest anything. They protested Stephen Colbert getting fired as if this is going to make any difference.
Trump must go. Colbert stays. Trump must go. Colbert stays. Trump must go. Colbert stays. Trump must go.
Colbert stays. Trump must go. Colbert stays. The time to clock out yet? Trump must go. How much longer? Colbert stays. Got it. Pull the lever. Get out. Come on. Come on. Adam Schiff was also mad about, I just finished taping with Stephen Colbert and the show was canceled. It wasn't politics. What was it? It wasn't even ratings. Stephen Colbert had the best ratings in his time slot for network late night television. Gutfeld leads overall, but Stephen Colbert had the, non-cable ratings, the best ratings in his time slot. Okay? I'm not afraid to say it. That being said, why was Stephen Colbert fired? Because Stephen Colbert's show, The Late Show, was losing annually $40 to $50 million. Okay? Every year they put that program on, it cost the company $40 to $50 million. That's
a lot.
That's a lot. That is a Major League Baseball outfielder's yearly salary. How much money is Aaron Judge making with the New York Yankees this year? $40 million. The difference is Aaron Judge is providing value to the organization, and apparently The Late Show isn't, or else what? Or else it wouldn't be losing $40 to $50 million every single year. That's not politics. That's business. People don't seem to understand that, including the walking legal note, one of the bickering bovine over on The View, Sonny Hostin. Sonny Hostin, I kid you not, called the firing of Stephen Colbert. She went so far. It's an attack on our democracy. Watch this.
It could be financial. And I don't know that it's purely political.
Stop.
It could be.
Stop. It could be financial. He's losing $40 to $50 million. Okay, let's look at it this way. Aaron Judge, New York Yankees. Guy hits a lot of home runs. Guy drives in a lot of runs. Plays DH. Plays the outfield. Has a good arm, etc. Could you imagine if Aaron Judge just decided, I'm not playing baseball this year. I'm not contributing to the team. And the Yankees on that contract, they didn't get a run batted in. They didn't get a home run. They didn't get any base runners. They didn't get runs scored. They got no putouts in the outfield. They got nothing. That would be the equivalent of what is happening with Stephen Colbert. They are losing an entire Major League Baseball outfielder's salary on the Colbert Show, the Late Show. They're losing it. They're not even breaking even. You know, you could say with Judge, okay, maybe the Yankees are breaking even. Maybe they're making a little more. It's helping them win. It's better for the team. This is not helping anybody. Sonny Hostin, it might be funny. $40 to $50 million. How is it not financial? But anyway, here is Hostin, the walking legal note. Remember? We have a legal note. Matt Gaetz was never convicted. She had like 5 of them in a row because she couldn't stop. She was coming unglued. Here is Sonny Hostin. I'm going to play the clip in its entirety now. I couldn't believe it. Sonny Hostin coming out there saying, well, maybe it's not financial, but it's an attack on our democracy. This is just ridiculous stuff. This is how unhinged the left is over Colbert. I mean, come on. Watch this.
It could be financial. And I don't know that it's purely political. It could be. But my concern is if it is political, then everyone should be concerned. People on the right should be concerned. People on the left should be concerned. Because it's very clear that if it is political, this is the dismantling of our democracy. This is the dismantling of our Constitution, right? And so the First Amendment is the First Amendment for a reason, and that is freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom to speak truth to power. If that is taken away, if the comedians are being attacked, then that means our Constitution is being dismantled. That's right. That means the very rubric of our democracy is being dismantled. And I think every single person should be really, really concerned about it. I'm thrilled that Senator Warren, Elizabeth Warren, Senator Bernie Sanders is asking Skydance, is asking for answers whether or not this was political. The Writers Guild is actually asking the attorney.
Enough. Comedians are being canceled. The Biden administration tried to put Douglas Mackey in prison over a meme. And now she cares that people are being canceled for being funny? And Stephen Colbert's not funny. Now she cares about it. We've had comedian Roseanne Barr got canceled. What did she do? What did Roseanne Barr do that got her canceled? She'd say N-word or something?
I don't know.
She said
Paula Deen.
Paula Deen. Roseanne Barr got canceled for something. I don't know what she said. She said something and they went nuts. She's a comedian. She got canceled, right? I mean, how many examples of people? They tried to cancel Chappelle because he was an equal opportunity. Chappelle's a black guy because he was an equal opportunity offender. They banned people for making jokes about Hunter Biden in 2020 off of social media. You had people on the left going after advertisers at Dan Bongino Army people in the chat. You remember Nandini Jammy, the crazy cat lady? Who was, what was that thing that she ran? She ran a stupid company going after people's advertisers, getting them deplatformed. The left is the champions of deplatforming over, jokes. Are you serious right now? It's the dismantling of our democracy. Give me a break of that Kit Kat bar. I will tell you right now, that is the most ridiculous. I mean, did she not look in the mirror? How many people were canceled over jokes? Oh my God, that's a racist joke. You can't make a joke about black people and fried chicken. Are you kidding me? They tried to cancel Dr. Seuss. Come on, guys. It's just the lack of self-awareness of just a dope like Sonny Hostin is just astounding. It blows my mind. The dismantling of our democracy. Because Stephen Colbert got fired, our country is now facing an existential crisis? What are you, nuts? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Anybody in the chat, which comedians and actors, actresses, etc. got canceled for making jokes? I mean, they literally, Douglas Mackey had to appeal a case for he was facing a few months in jail for a meme. A meme. That if you fell for, you should lose your right to vote to begin with because you can't text your vote. Come on. There's no way. But she's serious. And you heard it. Oh, it's an attack on our democracy. And all the people in the audience, yeah, it's an attack on our democracy. Come on. Oh, that's what it was. Oh, jeez. Roseanne Barr was canceled for saying Susan Rice looked like an ape. But it's a joke. Yeah. Kind of. It's a joke. That's what it was. That is what it was. It was a pretty mean joke, but it's a joke. Where was Sonny Hostin saying, oh, we shouldn't go after Roseanne Barr? She's just a comedian. This is a dismantling of it. No, of course not. That's racist. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's what it was. Yep, it's a dismantling the democracy. Throw me a fish now. Or Valerie Jarrett. It was Valerie Jarrett. I wasn't Susan Rice. See, you know what? Same concept, though. Same concept.
Okay.
I mean, you know, by the way, Nancy Pelosi looks like a monkey.
Just about to say.
Oh, by the way, now Nancy Pelosi cares about the Epstein files. She's had her whole year. We don't know who is Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know who Jeffrey Epstein is. I've never. Now she's like, we have to release all the Epstein files because the victims' lives matter, transparency matters.
Oh, wow.
Now she cares. Where were you the last 4 years?
Trying to keep her dentures
She was
down.
trying to get off the ground. Unbelievable. Sonny Hostin. All right. So there's that. We finally got to frickin' Colbert. I have to play a clip from Tom Homan. But before we do that, I want to talk to you about My Patriot Supply and their 4th of July, not 4th of July, Christmas in July sale. That's mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned, mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. According to the Department of Energy, blackouts could increase this year. And I don't know about you, but I'm not cool with losing power, even if it's for a couple hours. I'm just not happy about it. It's because of massive energy demand from AI data centers, an aging, fragile power grid that just can't keep up. I don't want to lose power. I know you don't want to lose power, and that's why I want you to look at this Christmas in July sale at mypatriotsupply.com, the Grid Doctor 3300 for My Patriot Supply. This is a powerful solar generator that runs refrigerators, AC units, medical devices, power tools, anything you need to ride out a blackout or, of course, an out of color. Right now, for their Christmas in July event, they're including over $1,000 in free survival gear with your generator, including an emergency food supply, water filtration, survival tools, and more. You got that right. Over $1,000 in free gear for a limited time. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. That's mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned and grab the Christmas in July bundle before it's all gone and before this offer expires. Blackouts are coming. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned and get prepared today. Again, the Grid Doctor 3300 is safe to run in your home. No fumes, no gas, nothing like that. Solar generator, recharges, solar panels, all that stuff. A great way to prepare for those blackouts. And of course, if the blackout lasts too long, you could just charge it with the power of the sun. We love the sun. The sun is great. mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. That's mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. Also is Armor Colostrum. We got tryarmor.com/LFA TV. This is TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV. I'm always on the lookout for ways to strengthen my immunity, my gut health, improve my fitness and metabolism, and enhance my skin and hair radiance. Well, this is Armor Colostrum. We can do that and more for you. Colostrum is the first nutrition that we receive in life. Contains all the essential nutrients that our bodies need in order to thrive. It can help you reactivate your hair growth and help your skin glow, like the great Dylan Philly out of Iowa. And it stimulate your stem cells and collagen production, increasing elasticity for plumper skin, guarding against UV damage, chemicals and pollutants from the environment, and clearing blemishes for a glowy complexion. It can also help fortify your gut health and ignite your metabolism, and it can help fuel your fitness, performance, and recovery. Check it out at tryarmor.com/LFA TV for 15% off of your entire first order. That is TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV for 15% off your first order. That's tryarmor.com/LFA TV. Lima Foxtrot Alpha Tango Victor for 15% off of your first order. You know, you heard under Biden yesterday with all the F-bombs, right? We're not going to play that again because that's just not necessary. But Tom Homan responded to what Hunter said in the media. The Hominator is back, and this is, I'm going to throw the seatbelt sign on for Tom Homan because he gave a nice reply. But here you go. Here's Tom Homan responding to Hunter's profanity-laden tirade about illegal aliens.
About illegal immigration. You. How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned? How do you think you got food on your table? Who do you think washes your dishes?
Well, I do my own dishes, Tom. But this idea that the fruit's going to rot in the orchards, nobody's ever going to have a lawn mowed again if we actually enforce our immigration laws.
Well, I don't really care what the former first drug addict thinks. I just thank God every morning I wake up, we got President Trump in the Oval Office. And because of President Trump, in 7 weeks, we got the most secure border in this nation's history. And now we're arresting public safety threats and national security threats every day across this country. We've already arrested 3 times the number of criminals that Biden did during the same time frame. And President Trump has committed 2 weeks ago to prioritize sanctuary cities because of what you just said. In California, Illinois, and New York, I said it during a press conference the other day, we're going to flood the zone. We're going to send hundreds of additional ICE agents to these cities. If they don't want to help us and get the bad guy in the county jail, then we're going to flood the neighborhoods until we find that guy. We're going to flood work sites until we find that guy because we're going to make this country safe again. President Trump was elected for that purpose, and we're going to keep that promise for President Trump.
And, Tom, those who would impede or harm or threaten ICE officers, will you commit tonight to...
Going to jail. Going to jail, Laura. If you impede an ICE officer, you're going to be prosecuted. You throw a stone at an ICE vehicle, they're going to get out of the car, they're going to chase you down, they're going to arrest you, and you're going to be prosecuted. President Trump sent out a truth post and an X the other day. 0 tolerance. You step over the line, you'll be prosecuted. And Pam Bonnie's already talked to every U.S. attorney across this country. They're not going to decline a prosecution. So you step over that line, you're going to jail.
Boom! That's right. You step on that line, you're going to jail. That's right. Nobody's above the law. Former first drug addict. That's the line of the week. I don't care what the former first drug addict has to say. By the way, he's the former first drug addict, but that dude is still on drugs. Oh, yeah. Come on, you can tell that dude was cracked out. That guy was cracked out, Hunter Biden. Speaking of these arrests, and I think we'll get more into this case tomorrow because we have to run. ICE agents arrested a Mexican illegal alien with 21 prior criminal convictions. No big deal. He's just been convicted 21 times. It's more points than the Jets score every week. 2 points is more points than the Jets usually score. 21 prior convictions. These are the people that the left wants us to keep in our country. Anyway, Jeremy Harrell coming up next. I will be joining the great Michael Patrick Leahy for the Tennessee Bonus Hour on the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. You can follow him at Michael P. Leahy on X. I'll be on there live from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. My gosh, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Heading over there. Jeremy Harrell up next. As President Trump would say, we will never give up, we will never give in, and we will never ever surrender. If all else fails, we'll just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And God bless all you crazy people in the chat today. I don't know what went on in there. It was a wild conversation.
That's okay.
I saw crazy stuff. I was like, all right, they're having a good time. Love you guys. Thanks for watching and listening. We're back tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Rumble.com/LFA TV on X. Hit the like button. Make sure you repost on X. Share with all your friends wherever you're watching. The shares are what help us grow, so we greatly appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow, and thank you for your attention to this matter.